Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing a segment I'm going to call Retro Reviews, which is basically going through my more classic collection and going through what I have and the specs of these older cameras. And what's the better way to start that with this here, which is the Canon EOS 1 and 1D. So this is the first generation EOS 1D. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it over to the table, go through all the specs, go through everything that wasn't there, go through a few of the controls and stuff like that, and talk about this camera and go from there. Okay guys, so this is the Mark 1 Canon EOS 1D. This came out in 2001, so this is a 21-year-old camera now, which is crazy to think that they haven't really changed massively from what they looked like before they went to the R sort of series instead, which is really incredible. They're a little bit smaller, but they are the same generic shape. So let's start with the main sort of facts here. This is a 4 megapixel camera. There is one version that is slightly older. The grip comes down to about here. They're 2 megapixels. I do want to try and pick one of those up at some point, but they are very expensive at the moment. People are kind of trying to get way too much money for them, for broken ones, and I'd really want one that actually works too. It has a maximum ISO of 3200. It's got a minimum ISO of 100. It weighs in at 1250 grams. It has got the world's smallest screen in the back there, absolutely tiny. It's just really hard actually to, let's try and show you actually what's going on with that with turning it on, so you can kind of get an idea of how small that screen is. There you go, that's kind of what you get there. That is absolutely tiny. You still get the bottom screen, which kind of is probably about actually bigger than the more modern top screens there and bottom screens there. That's your screen there. You've got this humongous wheel dial to go through everything and change there, which you can turn off and lock up here. So you've got 2 switches there. You've still got your AF sort of, you've got your sort of instead of your AF on button that you would usually have on more modern cameras, that's where you change your well, we get a focus on here. Oh, there we go. This button here is actually for your focus points, which you have 45 focus points on this camera. So you still get a fair amount on there, to be honest, for how old the camera is. You got your hot shoe. You've got your pretty standard massive battery. It's a bit bigger than the ones that you get for the 1DX and R3 and such, but unlike those, they have a humongous charger that goes in there and charges it up through here with a big long cable, rather than the more sliding batteries that you get with the more modern stuff. That's that there. You do have the built-in grip still, which is nice. So that's on there. You get your built-in grip, which you can turn on off as you can normally. You've got your dial there, your half shutter there. You've got your shutter there. It's 5 frames per second. So actually no, sorry, it's 8 frames per second. So it's actually faster than I thought it was. So for a camera from 2001, you get 8 frames a second there, which is really cool. You got your top screen up here as well. That can be illuminated in blue, and it's a very bare and sort of basic camera. This is a crop sensor, so you have got that sort of bigger sensor, which they did all the way up to the Mark IV, and then when they got to the X, they kind of combined the 1D S and the 1D line together to make the 1DX. So yeah, this is a fully functioning camera, which is really nice. I wanted one that was fully functioning, just because I do plan to maybe at some point go out there and use it. If you guys want to see how this kind of does in the field compared to my 1DX or even the R7 that I'm currently shooting on here, we can definitely do that if you want to, and sort of compare the images. So drop a like and a comment in there for that. But overall, it is a nice bit of kit. I'll grab the 1DX so you can kind of see the size comparison on there as well. So as you can see, there's a few differences, but not huge amounts. The sizing wise, they're not actually too dissimilar. You've got way more buttons on the front for the 1DX, You've obviously got, as I said before, a much smaller compact battery in the 1DX, which is obviously how sort of technology sort of moves forward. And the main differences on both, if I turn them both over, is, as I said, this screen size. Really turn that one on here and put the menu on there, so you can kind of see much clearer display on here, much bigger display, much more information. As I said, the screen here is actually not, it's probably a little bit thicker. This is a little bit wider, but it's definitely thicker. But you've just got way more buttons, way more things. You've got your autofocus there, which you haven't got on here because you've got your focus points. And the weight, this is significantly heavier to pick up than the 1D there. So that's the sort of look from side by side for you guys, so you can kind of have an idea. We'll do a top view as well for you guys too, so you can kind of definitely sort of see that difference there. We've just got so many more buttons and options on here compared to one the older school sort of designed 1D there. But yeah, there's the two of them there for you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, comment and like, as you guys are already doing. If you want to see me do a more in-depth review of this with shots and see how it compares to my 1DX, which is my current sort of go-to camera, I can do that for you. Just put a comment on there, like this video, and I'll know that that's what you guys want to see. So see you in the next one. Cheers.